Straight ahead on CCX News, a city that's changing. In part 3 of our series, A Dialogue on Diversity, we look at how Plymouth is responding to a changing population. Plus, light rail may be in limbo, but we'll show you how that's not stopping plans for artwork along the proposed Botno line. But first, Brooklyn Park Police order a lockdown of 2 schools. CCX News starts right now. Hello everyone. We begin with a developing story involving the Osseo School District. Today, Brooklyn Park Police directed 2 schools, Brooklyn Middle and Park Center High School, to go into lockdown. Reporter Meredith Hackler joins us at Park Center with more on what happened. Meredith?
Shannon, at around noon on Thursday, the Brooklyn Park Police Department instructed both Brooklyn Middle School and Park Center High School to go into lockdown. Now, administrative officials said that was due to a, quote, unspecified threat that was phoned in to Brooklyn Park Police. Now, students at both schools remained on lockdown for just under 2 hours, and for part of that time, students had to remain in their classrooms with the doors locked. Police say the threat they received came in via telephone, and while it was only 15 seconds, the threat was violent and they were directed at Park Center High School.
We still are trying to sort out who called, what did they say, because these phone calls came in this particular case to 2 different employees in the police department. So we have to get all that information, compile it, kind of start vetting through it.
Now, police do not know who made the threat at this time. All they know is that it was a male voice that made the phone call. They are working to track that phone call to see where it was made from. Now, if anybody has any idea who that caller was, they are asked to call Brooklyn Park Police. Live in Brooklyn Park, Meredith Hackler, CCX News.
All right, thank you, Meredith. The future of the Botno light rail line may be up in the air due to a stalemate in discussions with BNSF Railway. But local cities and community organizations are proceeding as if light rail will happen. And when it does, artwork will play a big role. An event called Art on the Line, which showcases artwork and live music, is happening Thursday evening at the Metro Transit Park and Ride lot along 63rd Avenue and Botno Boulevard. The location is one of the stops along the proposed light rail line. Organizers are seeking feedback from local residents on what they'd like to see at this light rail station. And this event is one way they hope to build connections between artists and the community.
All the artists involved have multiple activities going on all the time, and so if people like what they hear, if they come out, they can check with the artists and find their web pages and Facebook pages and social media and check them out.
Last week, the Metropolitan Council announced that the line's opening day will be pushed back to 2024. The New Hope City Council approved a preliminary budget this week, one that will include a sizable tax increase due to the construction of a new city hall and police station. The preliminary tax levy approved for 2019 is more than $15 million, a 19% increase over the 2018 levy. Most of that increase is the result of the city hall and police station under construction. Both buildings are expected to be finished next summer. Now, here's what the preliminary budget means for New Hope taxpayers. For homes valued between $150,000 and $250,000, taxes would go up between $110 and $205 per year. Those tax figures could still go down when the city approves a final budget, and that will happen in December. Culture, community, and compassion. The city of Plymouth is on a mission to create an atmosphere where everyone is welcomed. Part 3 of our diversity series, A Dialogue on Diversity, focuses on the 7th largest city in the state, which has become increasingly diverse. This strip mall in Plymouth has many Eastern European shops. In the past, it was nicknamed Little Russia because of all of the Russian businesses. A newspaper, real estate office, and market are all located in the mall. Plymouth also has a large Indian population. According to the state demographer's office, more than 6,500 residents are Asian out of a total population of 75,000. Reporter Sonia Goins shows us what one immigrant is doing to get acclimated to her new surroundings and how the city is implementing new programs to be more inclusive.
People don't typically think of Plymouth as diverse with its predominantly white population, but that's changing. A hub of global medical tech companies is drawing new faces to the city, and you may be surprised to hear they're not afraid of our weather.
It's very hot in India, so we love the snow, we love the winter, we love the long winter here.
SAMAYITA GHOSH is from India. She and her husband moved to Plymouth in 2016. She learned traditional Indian dance while in grade school, and she continues to make graceful moves here in Minnesota. SAMAYITA also has a university degree in fine arts, but she can't work here because of the type of visa she was issued.
I cannot work, I cannot earn here. So I was just sitting back at home doing nothing, wasting my time.
To make better use of her time, she decided to volunteer with the city of Plymouth.
I was not very sure about volunteering because it's not very common in our country, but it's a totally new experience.
Her doubts quickly faded when she met new friends while stuffing envelopes.
I met new people every time I volunteer.
It's nice to have somebody younger.
Yes.
Volunteering has helped SAMAYITA learn about American culture.
I learned more about their culture, their food, their daily habits. They share everything about this place.
While her Plymouth friends get an education on customs in India.
They ask me so many questions about my country, about my food.
SAMAYITA also helps out the city's engineering department, making copies of old blueprints of city buildings.
Because these are really old, first you have to cut or you have to tape, and then you have to start scanning.
Officials say she's doing an important job.
We can have much faster access to that information instead of going into a drawer where the old paper building plans are and flipping through each page until we find what we need.
Meanwhile, the Plymouth Police Department is beefing up its community engagement efforts to open the lines of communication with residents and immigrants. The goal is to be more transparent and trustworthy.
Did you get a sticker?
Sergeant Curtis Smith says the city's community outreach program is all about building authentic and sustainable relationships with residents.
Everybody's got different experiences with law enforcement, and that's going to impact their response to us when we arrive on a call.
Plymouth police have made special efforts to get in touch with certain areas of the community that are higher in diversity.
I'm looking to open lines of communication between the police department and members of the community.
And the Plymouth Parks and Recreation Department is also doing its part when it comes to diversity and inclusion.
To bring the community together, provide inclusion for everyone, and provide those opportunities.
Events like Kid Fest at the Hildy lets residents experience education, culture, and fun. In Plymouth, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
In Maple Grove, plans have emerged for a new memory care facility serving older adults with dementia or Alzheimer's disease. It would be located at the corner of Weaver Lake Road and West Fish Lake Road next to Crosswinds Church. The facility would be operated by BeeHive Homes, the largest franchise in the residential senior care industry. Plans call for a total of 42 beds that will be constructed in 2 phases. The Maple Grove City Council is expected to review the proposal on Monday. Still ahead on CCX News, how some local high school students are getting a jump start on future careers. Plus, the Cooper football team is off to a great start as they get set for a big game this week. But first, feels like summer, sunshine and rising dew points on Friday. Internship opportunities are something many students don't think about until they are in college. In today's School Spotlight, reporter Meredith Hackler shows us how students at Park Center High School have the opportunity to get a jump start on their future career.
For students at Park Center High School, new opportunities are on the horizon.
What this does is it helps students really who are taking career and technical education courses in IT, in manufacturing, and in engineering, where we know there's high demand in our region, and tying that curriculum to what employers are saying they need in terms of the skills, the competencies, and the credentials.
Walk you through the Mind Tap.
The Youth Skills Training Initiative is a partnership between the Twin West Chamber of Commerce Commerce, and Osseo area schools. The new program will give students real-world experience through internships with Twin Cities-based companies.
We know that we've got a talent shortage. I believe the number is 62,000 by 2020. So we're not going to have enough bodies for the jobs that are there in 2020. And the reality is we're feeling that pain right now.
And while filling a talent need is a big part of this program, it's also showing students what it takes to join the workforce.
And they actually get to work on those soft skills and practice those, the communication skills, networking skills, being punctual, meeting project deadlines, all of those things in a real world scenario so that they can put what they learn here into action.
It also shows them opportunities available after graduation.
Many of the employers in manufacturing, for instance, they want to change the image. They want people to understand what the opportunities are, and they want people to understand that that often isn't a four-year degree. It can be coming straight out of high school and then building skills and credentials while they're working.
Where would you find out what to do?
Employers and educators are hopeful that programs like this will help diversify the workplace.
We know that many of our students of color, which is where we're seeing all our demographic growth in this community, often don't have those same relationships. And so how do we get more intentional in education about supporting those relationships and this approach to education?
In Brooklyn Park, Meredith Hackler, CCX News.
Still ahead, a race against time in Plymouth. But first, the Champlin Park volleyball team is living up to high expectations so far this season. John Jacobson has the details up next in sports.
The Cooper football team is off to a 2-0 start and aiming to stay undefeated this Friday against Spring Lake Park. Here's Jason Malillo with more on the Hawks.
Cooper is rolling so far this season. The Hawks have scored 96 points in 2 games with an experienced offensive line and senior running back NASCIER Borden leading the way.
I got to give it to my O-line. They blocked for me perfect. My receivers, my running backs coach, and I just run behind them.
Our offense is a fast-paced offense, but our line, sometimes we have to grind it out. And they're a veteran line. They've been working all summer, and what's really cool is they're a close-knit group.
The Hawks are also deep at receiver, and Trayshawn McMillan, in his first season as QB1, has come along faster than coaches expected.
He's starting to be more confident with all of our receivers, so he's throwing the ball more and he's running the ball more. He's not being scary no more.
The Cooper defense has been locked in as well this fall, giving up only 28 total points, with most of those coming after the Hawks had big leads.
And he is wrapped up and dropped as Kellen Andler getting there quickly.
This Friday, Cooper hosts 2-0 Spring Lake Park. The Panthers are always tough, and the Hawks will have to be ready for a fight.
They're big up front. You know, we know exactly what they're going to do. You know, they're a really well-coached football team, and so we have to limit to mistakes. It's going to be a grind. I mean, they're a really tough football team, and I think Friday it'll be a test of who makes the least amount of mistakes and who's coached up to do what they're supposed to do, because on both sides of the ball you have some really great football players and just who have to execute their game plan.
Jason Malillo, CCX Sports.
Cooper is ranked 7th this week in Class 5A. In volleyball, Champlin Park sits atop the state Class 3A rankings. As Jay Wilcox reports, a recent tournament win solidified the Rebels as a state title contender.
For Champlin Park, winning the high-powered Southwest Minnesota Challenge, where the field is as tough or tougher than the state tournament, is a first-time accomplishment for the program.
I think it was a good step for us. We had a lot of fun doing it, and it just showed our progress so far, and we're really excited to keep going off of that.
Yeah, definitely. We knew there was going to be a lot of strong teams there, and a lot of the teams there have a strong shot at going to state, so I think that was a really good tournament for us to go to and really exciting to win early in the season.
It's great. You know, it's a confidence builder for the girls. I mean, the teams we played are a number of top 10 teams, and from not just our class but other classes, and anytime you play teams like that, you learn some things about yourself, what do we need to work on and what's going well. And
after beating number 2 Lakeville North and number 3 Lakeville South in that tournament, the Rebels added a win over 8th-ranked Eastridge Tuesday night. They are 10-0 and haven't lost a set. The key is to keep pushing to get better in practice and matches, regardless of the level of opponent.
This weekend definitely pointed out a lot of stuff that we need to work on. We need to get better at stuff each and every day, like just the minor details, and we need to fix those. So I think this weekend really pointed that out for us.
think we're a pretty driven team. We know that there's always a place to go up, and we're just ready to reach the next level.
We have goals in mind, and if you want to be considered one of the top teams around, you got to play like it night in, night out. And it doesn't matter what's going on the other side of the net, and it could be the #1 team in the state, it could be somebody else. We have to worry about what's going on our side and play at our best level as many times as possible. And sometimes they need a reminder about that, and I get it. It's hard sometimes, but you know, they do a great job overall. And
the Rebels know that September wins aren't the ultimate goal. It's all about improving throughout to be ready for the end of the season. They look unstoppable so far. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
And a reminder, you can see the Rebels in action Thursday night on CCX Sports as they host Blaine. Champlin Park has a rematch against defending state champion Lakeville North next week in Lakeville. Shannon, back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Voters in the Robbinsdale district must select 4 candidates to the school board. Today we hear from incumbent Pam LINDBERG and Sam Sant.
Hi, I'm Pam LINDBERG, and I'm running for the Robbinsdale School Board. I am a lifetime educator, having taught English, physical education, and health. I also coached throughout my teaching career. Currently, my interest in education is from a different lens, that of a school board member for Robbinsdale area schools. I have learned a great deal about how a school board functions, its critical role in the school district, and the importance of having a high-functioning board. I feel confident in pursuing another 4 years and feel these years will be my most productive. And I'm convinced school districts can set policies that ensure all students learn and thrive and find great benefit in their lives from their public education. Thank you for your vote.
Hello, my name is Sam Sant, and I'm running for Robbinsdale District 281 School Board. I currently have 2 children that attend Lakeview Elementary International Baccalaureate. As a corporate tax auditor for the state of Minnesota, I audit corporations, making sure they file in compliance with federal and state statute. Also, I'm involved with my union, MAPE Local 401, where I've assisted in negotiating over 17% cost of living adjustments, keeping healthcare costs low, and increased benefits. Currently, I serve on the Financial Advisory Council, where we advise the school board on financial matters of the district. If elected, I will strive to increase enrollment, be mindful of taxpayers' dollars, and provide a world-class education for our children. Thank you, and I hope to have your vote November 6th.
There is one other candidate listed on the ballot for Robbinsdale School Board. His name is Michael Green, and he told CCX News he was suspending his campaign. Up next, an event in Plymouth that kids can get pumped up about. And finally, ready, set, go. The city of Plymouth and Third Lair Skate Park are hosting time trials for kids to test their bicycling and skateboarding skills. The event takes place at the Plymouth Pump Track on Saturday, September 29th. There will be competitions for different age categories. The Plymouth Pump Track features more than 200 feet of waves and berms. It's the first of its kind in the state, and I hope it's a good day for it. That looks like fun. That's all the news we have for now. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here again on Friday, starting at 4 o'clock.